Alright, welcome back to Game Instruction Fail Part 3. And if you want to know what in the world I'm talking about, please watch Part 1 to catch up on all the information. If you already know what I'm talking about, cool, because I'm going to get right back into it. Okay, let's chalk one up for Bethesda for some of the screw-ups in Fallout 3 that they still have not fixed. Alright, one of the pet peeves I have with this is one of the locations in Rivet City. And that's not so much as a bother as the idiots that you bring this up to put it out on why it's a problem, show them and prove it's a problem, and they still say, oh no, there's nothing wrong with it. So anybody that says what I'm about to talk about isn't an issue, really has issues themselves and needs to go back to school to learn comprehension. Alright, starting off, when you discover a place in Fallout 3, as soon as you step foot into the place, you see a message across the screen that says you've discovered, whatever area. Okay? For example, Megaton. When you go to Megaton from Vault 101, you do not see you've discovered Megaton until you actually open the door and you're standing inside the town itself. Okay? Then and only then does that message you've discovered Megaton pop up on the screen. Simple, right? Makes sense. You walk into a place, okay, you see the message. Now, every area in the game is like that, except for Rivet City. I do not understand why people do not get that Rivet City, where Rivet City is in the game, is not where the game says it is. They are in two completely different locations. For example, after what I just went through, Rivet City is actually on the ship itself. And in order to get to the ship, you not only have to press this intercom, a drawbridge has to go down or turn around, however you get across it. Then you not only have to cross the bridge, but then you got to open the ship to get in there. Okay, it's a process. Okay, if Rivet City is on the ship itself, why are you seeing the message you've discovered Rivet City if you've never stepped foot on the ship itself? We've already established that the only time you can see that message is when you actually step foot in the place itself. Every place in the game does that, except for Rivet City. So, I have idiots trying to say, oh, it's the location. No, it's friggin' not, because Rivet City is on the ship. That means the only time you should see that message is when you step foot on the ship itself. If you see that message anywhere else, you apply that same principle to anywhere else in the game. Megaton, Oasis, everywhere. So, if I see the message that I've discovered Rivet City and I'm nowhere near the ship, guess where Rivet City is? It's certainly the game is telling me it's definitely not on the ship. And I don't understand why people don't get that. I don't care if you have to press the intercom, and I don't care if you're on this ramp or whatever. The other way this is proved is by fast travel. Okay? I don't care if people want to try to say there's a radius around the ship that's considered Rivet City. Bull. Rivet City is on the ship itself. Period. It's not anywhere else. So, if I am not on that ship, I am not supposed to be seeing that message that I've discovered Rivet City without having stepped foot on the ship. That is that simple. That does not take a rocket scientist to know that every area in the game is like that, except for Rivet City. Now, another way you prove this is by fast travel. When you fast travel to Megaton, where do you get put? Inside the city. You were standing inside the town itself behind the gates. When you fast travel to Rivet City, you sure as hell don't get put on the ship where you're supposed to be like every other place in the game. So yes, something is wrong with the game's location for Rivet City. The game is not where it says it is. Because of that, I played the game for 3 months when it first came out, and the ship was off to my left, over on the other opposite side of the screen where I couldn't see it, and when I walked by the ramp, I was facing some destroyed buildings. And guess what I saw? Hey, you've discovered Rivet City. Guess where the game just told me Rivet City was? Those destroyed buildings in front of me. And that is because Rivet City's message told me that's where it was. Now, everyone's like, how did you miss the intercom? It's very simple. If you've ever missed a door in a tunnel, then you'll understand how. Now, I never found the intercom because once you search a 15 by 15 square, it's not like going back through a tunnel where you turn around and then you see, oh, I didn't see that door before. Once you search that area is done. You don't go back up there, there's no point. And if you turn at the wrong camera angle, Every time you go up there, you will never see that, therefore you will never get across. It's very simple to miss that. I played the game 3 months, and on top of that, it didn't help for the matter that I, saw the message elsewhere. Now, I got other people trying to say, oh, there's 2 people in the game that tell you this. What the hell does that have to do with anything? That's a what-if scenario. That's even if you find these people. Oh, you find them by playing the main game. But that brings me to another point. The main game's quest line is broken, too, and most people think that there's no problem with that, but there is, and I'm going to tell you where it is. Anyway, Rivet City's location is mislabeled, and I don't care who says Mad Dog, whatever the hell his name is, 3 Dog, tells you. You can only find that information out if you even find Mad Dog, and if you even listen, if you even read his dialogue, if you can even find him. That's a what if. What I'm talking about is a definite. So anyway, that brings me to the broken quest line. When you arrive in Megaton, I do not know where people are getting the idea that Lucas Sims says to go talk to Moriarty, because Lucas Sims never says any such thing at all. I built when the GECK came out, a week after the GECK came out, I still to this date have the entire basic tutorial on how to go about making a mod using the GECK. I was the very first one to do it, and I get the dates to prove that because it's up on a site called xboxgamemods.net that I help run under the name TX3000. So, yes, I took the GECK, and I was one of the first people to make a complete tutorial. Doing that, I actually took Lucas Sims' dialogue apart inside the GECK editor. There is nothing at all, anywhere in Lucas Sims' dialogue that actually says, go talk to Moriarty. Somehow, people took a sentence that he said and spliced it together with the next part of the screen when there's no comma. It's a period. If you read the screens, it says, it says basically on one section that, if you want to know your way around, I remember a stranger passing through here. Period. That ends. There's nothing connecting that sentence and that screen to the next section he says. He now then ends that dialogue and that conversation, and in the next screen he says, basically, if you're thirsty, there's a saloon in town, you can go there, but watch your back if you go there. Somehow people took that, there's a stranger passing through there, and changed it to, go talk to Moriarty because he knows about that. Lucas Sims never says any such thing. Okay, so I don't know where people are getting that from. People do not know how to read. They're splicing screens and words and sentences together that don't even go together. And then they're making something else completely new out of something that was never even said. So that's the other thing. The quest line is broken because there's nothing in Megaton that you're connected to when you first go in there that tells you how to continue the storyline, even though despite people think that there is. When you read Lucas Sims' dialogue next time, when he says there's a stranger, stop at that screen and do not skim through the dialogue, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. He talks about a stranger, not your father. The stranger in the game is the stranger he's talking about is the mysterious stranger. Only you ask about your father. Then Lucas Sims brings up the stranger. He goes, I remember a stranger passing through here, but he might have had other reasons for going through. Period. That ends that dialogue. He's now not talking about the stranger or your dialogue with your father anymore. Now on the next screen, he talks about the saloon. And if you're thirsty, you can go there to get a drink if you want, but watch your back. Lucas Sims never says to go talk to Moriarty. So that's the end of segment 3. I'm going to go into segment 4 afterwards.